So we've got our macaroni noodles boiling, and we're going to get ready to prepare it. I've got my pan I'm going to use. These are just two of the cheeses I'll use: sharp cheddar, mild cheddar. I've got a few blocks of Velveeta. Got my butter, got my milk. What I don't have is flour. And I don't think I have any, so I'm going to use cornstarch to thicken my cheese sauce. I'm going to drain the macaroni noodles and I'll be right back. So I drained my macaroni noodles. No, you do not rinse them off. I've transferred them to the pan. Now we're going to prepare our cheese sauce. I'm just going to start my cheese sauce off with maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. Going to let that melt. Don't want it to burn. I have my heat up a little bit high. Gonna let that melt. And after that melts, we're gonna add maybe a tablespoon of cornstarch to let it thicken, or to create a paste. We're gonna add about a tablespoon of cornstarch to make it a paste so that the cheese sauce will be thick. So I added a tablespoon of cornstarch into the butter, and now it's turning into like a little paste, That's what we wanted to do. Then we're going to add our milk. That doesn't look like enough. That's probably a cup. It was like a cup. Probably add 1 more cup. We want to make sure it's enough to fill our, to cover our macaroni noodles. So I'm going to add 1 more cup. So I have unwrapped my first thing of Velveeta cheese, and we're just going to stick it in the butter, cornstarch, and milk mixture. And we're going to let that melt. I'm going to put another one in there. So the cheese is beginning to melt in the Velveeta. Well, the Velveeta cheese is beginning to melt in the mixture, in the milk, butter, cornstarch mixture. It's melting. So don't let that thicken up. It's got to become like a sauce before we add it to our macaroni noodles. I'm going to take some of my sharp cheddar, and I'm going to put some in there. I'm going to also put some of the cheddar cheese in there as well. I didn't take these out of the packages beforehand, and I should have. That way I could have just grabbed a handful and put it in there. So hold on, guys, be right back. So as you can see, the cheese mixture is starting to get thicker. I'll let it boil and get a little bit more thicker, but we don't want it to start boiling to where it burns the bottom of the pan. So I might have to turn this down a little bit. You start getting anything brown on the bottom of your pan, or that starts to come up when you scrape the bottom of the pan, that means you need to turn down your heat, because it will start to stick kind of like that on the spoon right there. so you don't want it to boil. You can just see how the consistency thickened up. And then I normally add a little paprika, salt and pepper to this here macaroni and cheese mixture. Well, the cheese mixture. But I'm not so sure I'm going to add any salt today. I'm going to let them add their own salt for the simple fact that I'm watching my sodium levels, so I'm not going to add any salt. Okay, so the cheese mixture looks about done. I'm going to go ahead and take the pot over and pour it over our macaroni noodles.